Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and this is your Manchester United versus Cardiff City preview at Old Trafford on Sunday. Of course, the final Premier League game of the season, and to be quite honest with you, it's going to be very essential, what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, team he currently selects, because we do know most recently, of course, especially that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's been making them on team selections. His tactics have been very questionable, so it's going to be essential, what team Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does select. Obviously, we are expected, to put a number of fringe players out. So I think we should drop the problematic players and give a number of youngsters a chance in this game. But potentially, as I did say, Manchester United, of course, we're not going for out. We've missed out on that top four. We're not in a Champions League football for next season, and of course, Cardiff are relegated. Of course, obviously, Manchester United won the reverse fixture against Cardiff by 5-1 at the Cardiff City Stadium, and I think that's Manchester United's biggest win under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Actually, it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first match as manager of Manchester United. I think the last meeting at Old Trafford between Manchester United and Cardiff was about 5 years ago. Was it back in 2014? I think it was 2-0 to Manchester United, and at that time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, was in charge of Cardiff. So potentially, this is a game Manchester United should win, but don't count your chickens, because we've been in a really bad vein of form. We've only won 2 of our last 11 games in all competitions, but I do keep saying I'm still backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I still believe he's the right man, that can take Manchester United forward. Because reflecting back when he was the interim manager, everything was going well. The results were good. He was getting the best out of these players, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer exceeded expectations. Of course, he's got the job permanently. It's a 3-year deal. So obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to meet expectation levels in this 3-year period, and we're just going to have to see who we can get in the summer. Of course, obviously, we do need to rebuild. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, and of course, he wants to bring at least 5 new additions to the club this summer, and he's going to get back this summer. He's going to get a spending spree of around £250 million. Of course, wants to get a director of football in before the start of next season, to change the structure of the club, and obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, is going to need backing. So we'll give you a bit of team news, going into this game against Cardiff, of course. So yeah, there's a number of youngsters that are set to be involved in this game. I expect Mason Greenwood, to be starting this game. He should have really, started against Huddersfield. I thought he'd have been involved against Huddersfield, Mason Greenwood, but he wasn't. Chong as well. I think Chong should get the opportunity, because I think Chong was very impressive when he came on against Huddersfield. But Mason Greenwood, has been very impressive for the reserve team. So I think Mason Greenwood, should be given the opportunity, and I think Chong also, should be given the opportunity. There has been a couple of other youngsters mentioned. James Garner's been mentioned, also Angel Gomez has been mentioned, so they could reportedly be involved. But potentially, these players I would drop. For this game, I'd definitely drop Ashley Young. Ashley Young shouldn't have even been playing in the Huddersfield game, and Ashley Young, he's past his sell-by date. He's 33 years of age. He's nearly 34 now. By the time his new 1-year extension expires, Ashley Young, of course, will be nearly 35 years of age. And I don't understand why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer keeps selecting Ashley Young, because he's the main factor of the problem is Ashley Young, and I think we need an upgrade to Ashley Young, of course. But as I did say, he's been a good servant. This is now his 7th, 8th season at Manchester United. He was a good winner, back in the day, was Ashley Young, but he has passed his sell-by date. He's too easily predictable. He loses the ball far too easily, does Ashley Young. So yeah, I think we've got to get rid of him in the summer. So I definitely, I would drop Ashley Young for this remaining game, and I would put Diego Dalot into contention. But there has been talks that, that Antonio Valencia, could be involved in this game. I think Manchester United, maybe should give him a farewell appearance, because obviously we know Antonio Valencia is one of the players that's leaving the club in the summer when his contract expires, and he's been out for the majority of this season, Antonio Valencia, with a calf injury, but I think it's confirmed now that he is back in training, Antonio Valencia, and he did say he could be possibly involved, but initially he's lost his place in the team, but he's been a great servant to the club as Antonio Valencia. He has been very essential over the years. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions for the club. As I said, he's been here a decade now. He won the Samat Buzzard Player of the Year back in 2012, and as I said, he's won everything here domestically. But it'd be more than likely, probably Diego Dalot playing at right back. But Antonio Valencia, may come off the bench. But I don't think Valencia will start the game. But he did say he could be involved. So yeah, I'd put Diego Dalot at right back. I'd go with Smalling and Lindelof as a centre back partnership, because I definitely would drop Phil Jones, because Phil Jones was terrible against Huddersfield. Well, the majority of the team were terrible against Huddersfield, but Phil Jones Jones was one of them. You know, he was making a lot of mistakes, playing a lot of misplaced passes. So I definitely, you know, would drop Phil Jones. As I said, he's another player I think, you know, that needs to leave Manchester United. You know, this summer, you know, this is his eighth season now at Manchester United. We do know it was a mistake, you know, for Manchester United, you know, giving Phil Jones a new long-term contract, but he was very, very poor against Huddersfield. And comparing Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, I think Chris Smalling is a better defender than Phil Jones. But as I did say, you know, Chris Smalling, you know, has been impressive in quite a few of his games, you know, since he recovered from that long-term absence. And mainly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been going with Smalling and Lindelof as centre-back partnership. You know, he has rotated it a couple of times, but he's been mainly Smalling and Lindelof. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been going with. So I think he should go with Smalling and Lindelof. Of course, Eric Bailly is injured, so he won't be participating in the game. In goal, I should presume it will be David De Gea in goal, as of course, because obviously, you know, Sergio Romero did suffer some kind of knee injury. I know there's Lee Grant there as a backup option, you know, to David De Gea, but it will be David De Gea playing in this game. David De Gea, of course, you know, he didn't do too much wrong against Huddersfield. You know, David De Gea, I think he made some good saves in the Huddersfield game. David De Gea, and David De Gea now, he's been at Manchester United 7-8 years, and he's been a good servant to the club so far. You know, before the Huddersfield game, in his previous game, in his games prior to the Huddersfield game, you know, he was making a lot of costly mistakes. Was David De Gea, and that's why, you know, Manchester, you know, quite a lot of Manchester United fans, you know, demanding for him to be dropped. But I don't know, does he still want to be at the club, David De Gea? Of course, Manchester United have not yet come to an agreement to get him a new contract. I know the club have been in negotiations of trying to get David De Gea a new contract. But as I said, you know, we have not yet come to an agreement to get him a contract. And if we don't come to an agreement to get him a contract, obviously we want to cash him in this summer rather than let him go on a free transfer in the summer of 2020. We do know Real Madrid have been long admirers of him. We do know obviously he's been linked with a £90 million move to PSG. But reports do say Man United were willing to offer him around £300,000 a week, David De Gea, but De Gea is reportedly demanding around £350,000 a week. So potentially, you know, we'll have to see what happens. But I think maybe a goalkeeper of David De Gea's calibre, you know, wants to be playing to the highest level, wants to be in Champions League football, of course, and, you know, wants to be up there challenging. And obviously, you know, Manchester United are at least a couple of years off doing that. So yeah, we'll see what happens with De Gea. But yeah, De Gea will be starting this game. It'll be definitely, you know, Luke Shaw at left back. I know a few people have been saying Luke Shaw's performances have been way below par in the last couple of games. He has been making a couple of mistakes as Luke Shaw. But yeah, he's obviously our first choice left back. You know, he hasn't done much wrong as a Manchester United player this season. Yeah, so it will be definitely Luke Shaw at left back. In that midfield now, I think definitely in that midfield, you know, I presume that Herrera will be playing. Obviously, this is going to be Herrera's last game for Manchester United, of course, because we do know that he's going to PSG on the summer. In the summer, when his contract expires, he's going on the free transfer, as you all do know. I think he's agreed around, is it a 4-year deal with PSG? I think he's going to get around £150,000 a week, is it, or something like that. But as I said, you know, we've got to give Ander Herrera, you know, we've got to play him in this last game, because it is going to be his last game for Manchester United, of course. Obviously, he's been a great servant to the club as Ander Herrera. You know, this is now his 5th season at Manchester United, of course. I think he's made about 188 or 189 appearances in all competitions for Manchester United as Ander Herrera. As I did say, you know, Manchester United had been locked in contract negotiations there with Ander Herrera, but reports came out a while back saying that Ander Herrera was allegedly demanding quite a bit more money. He did actually say in the media he was demanding around £200,000 a week for Manchester United, but reportedly Manchester United, you know, were not willing to meet his £200,000 a week wage demands. But yeah, he's been a good servant to the club. You know, Manchester United got him in 2014 from Atletico Bilbao, was it, for just under £30 million. It did say his former club Atletico Bilbao had been interested in re-signing Ander Herrera, of course, because obviously his former club is Atletico Bilbao. But I think it was too late to process, because obviously he'd already come to an agreement with PSG Ander Herrera. So obviously we're going to need a replacement for Ander Herrera this summer. So yeah, he's a very, very good player. You know, he's been good for Manchester United. You know, he has had rough patches, you know, during his tenure as a Manchester United player. You know, didn't really get much chances from the start under Jose Mourinho. But under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I know he's been really, really good as Ander Herrera. I know he's had an injury, and I think he's had a couple of injuries, Ander Herrera, but you know, he's been very, very good indeed. And he breaks up the play very, very well. And mainly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice midfield trio, as you all know, is obviously Herrera, Matic and Pogba. His first choice midfield trio, but obviously he's had to rotate that. Obviously, you know, with the injuries, you know, that Manchester United have had. So yeah, definitely, you know, Herrera, should be playing in this game. I presume Pogba will be playing in this game as well. He'll be in that midfield, of course. Will Paul Pogba? This could be Paul Pogba's last game for Manchester United as well, because it's looking likely he's going to be going to Real Madrid in the summer. Paul Pogba's been heavily linked to move to Real Madrid, but as you all do know, reports have been coming out today, guys, saying that his current agent Raiola has been handed a 3-month transfer ban by the Italian FA. I don't think it actually give an explanation why he's been given this 3-month transfer ban, his agent Raiola, but he has been given this 3-month transfer ban. So this means that Raiola can't conduct any transfers in Italy. It's only in Italy though, so this won't affect Paul Pogba making his move to Real Madrid. He won't be able to make a return to his former club Juventus, because we do know his former club Juventus have been linked with Paul Pogba. Juventus were actually linked with him last year. Obviously Barcelona were linked with him last year, based on Paul Pogba's poor relationship with Jose Mourinho. But yeah, Man United I think have been in negotiations to try to get Paul Pogba a new contract at the club. He's still got over 3 years on his deal, over 2 years with an option of a further year, so you call it 3 years left on his contract. But yeah, I think he wants to make the move to Real Madrid this summer. Does Paul Pogba? He's notified his Manchester United teammates that he's intending on leaving the club this summer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer spoken to Paul Pogba, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still believes that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still thinks Paul Pogba will be at Manchester United next season, but he could still possibly stay, but I think it's more than likely that Paul Pogba is going to be leaving the club. But as I did say, Manchester United could get around 120 or 130 million pounds for Paul Pogba, and at least 120, 130 million pounds. Recent reports did say Manchester United were demanding around 160 million. Reportedly, Real Madrid were not willing to meet it. Real Madrid were not willing to pay 160 million pounds for Paul Pogba, because ultimately, looking at Real Madrid probably cannot afford to pay 160 million pounds for Paul Pogba. But as I did say, it's looking like he's going around Madrid, of course, because you do know that Zinedine Zidane is a big admirer of the player. Zinedine Zidane's a big admirer of the player, and Zinedine Zidane, of course, is emphasising his targets for this summer, and he's identified his 2 targets, and of course that's Paul Pogba and Chelsea's Eden Hazard. But as I did say, Paul Pogba, was talking a lot about Real Madrid, quite a few weeks ago, about his dream to play for them, and I know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has built a great relationship with Paul Pogba, but recent reports were coming out saying that their relationship is slowly fading. As I did say, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer managed Manchester United reserve team, you watch some of this team at this day and age grow and develop, and of course one of them was Paul Pogba. But as I did say, reports were coming out the other week as well, saying that Real Madrid were not willing to match his £290,000 a week wages. So it did say that Paul Pogba, of course, would have to take a pay cut. But as I did say, we can get rid of Paul Pogba. It'll help us with our rebuilding process. It will help us with our transition if we can get rid of him. Because maybe one of the reasons Paul Pogba wants to leave the club, because maybe he wants to be playing to the highest level. Wants to be challenging, wants to be in Champions League football, and of course Manchester United haven't got Champions League football for next season. So that may be one of the main factor reasons why Paul Pogba wants to leave Manchester United this summer. But yeah, it's looking likely he's going to Real Madrid. It did allegedly say from the Spanish press the other week as well, saying that he'd agreed the personal terms. It said he'd agreed the wages with Real Madrid. I think he'd agreed around a 10 million a year deal reportedly. So yeah, as I did say, probably Paul Pogba at Manchester United. He's not playing amongst world class players, and this is what probably Paul Pogba wants, as I said. So yeah, it's looking likely he's on his way out, and we do know that Paul Pogba's agent Raiola has been in the process at least in the last couple of weeks of trying to get Paul Pogba the move. So he's going in the summer, and I think for at least 120, 130 million pounds, we can get 2 players there with that money. So yeah, Paul Pogba will be playing in this game, and I think the midfielder that will be playing alongside Paul Pogba and Ander Herrera in my midfield. I think Matic will be dropped for this game. I don't think Matic will be playing because, as I did currently say, I think obviously he's going to go over Fred and McTominay Weight alongside Pogba and Herrera in that midfield. And as I did say, I think Fred is a much better solution than Nemanja Matic. I don't know if Fred is a long-term solution. I don't know if it's a long-term solution. I know he hasn't been playing quite recently as Fred. He hasn't been playing recently, but when he did play before, he was very, very impressive was Fred. But I still don't know if he's the long-term solution. But he is far more. He is more mobile on the ball. He is more mobile. He's better on the ball than Nemanja Matic. So I definitely would select Fred more than Nemanja Matic. I do believe that Matic, will be dropped for this game. So I think he'll either put Fred or McTominay alongside Pogba and Herrera in that midfield. I don't know, to be quite honest. He may go with Fred. He may go with McTominay. I'll probably say he'll go with Fred. But there again, he may go with McTominay. It'd be one of them, of course. And McTominay, as I did say, I've been very, very impressed with his performances recently. Of course, getting the goal against Huddersfield, and I've watched him in quite a few games. Most recently, Scott McTominay, when he has been playing, he's been playing really, really well. Still young, still got a lot of years ahead of him. Plays between the lines very, very well. So I think he'll go with Fred, Pogba, and Herrera in that midfield. But he may go with Scott McTominay, Pogba, and Herrera in that midfield. But it'll be one of them, I should presume. We do know Anthony Martial, of course, hasn't played in the last couple of games for Manchester United. Based on his poor run of performances, and I think he should be involved in this game. Anthony Martial, of course, he's been in really, really poor form. He's been in really, really bad form at least in the last couple of months. And as you all do know, there has been recent reports coming out about Anthony Martial. There has been recent reports coming out about Anthony Martial saying that he's infuriated Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it did say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to get rid of Anthony Martial this summer. It was something to do, with Anthony Martial's bad attitude in training. This is why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted to reportedly get rid of him due to Anthony Martial's bad attitude in training. But now recent reports do say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made a decision on Anthony Martial's future, and now it does say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is deciding to keep Anthony Martial at Manchester United. But as I did say, we do know his performance has been really, really poor in the last couple of months. But as I did say, he's still the long-term solution is Anthony Martial. He's still 23 years of age. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him, and he's been at Manchester United now 4 years. Anthony Martial, he has proven himself. He was really, really good earlier on in the season. He's failed to replicate that in the last couple of months. He was really, really good in his first season as a Manchester United player. When we got him as a 19-year-old, he was really, really good. Manchester United got him in a deal with £36 million, rising up to £57 or £58 million, based on goals and achievements. So I think, Anthony Martial, should be involved in this game. But Martial was linked to a move away from Old Trafford last summer, last year, of course, when Jose Mourinho was in charge, because obviously Jose Mourinho wanted to get rid of Martial, and obviously, Ed Woodward had blocked this move, so he didn't materialise, and Martial, of course, stayed with Manchester United. Manchester United, of course, gave him a new 5-year contract back in January. So I think, Martial should be involved in this game. Alexis Sanchez, he is a doubt. Is Alexis Sanchez, of course, he came off injured with an ankle injury in the Huddersfield game. He actually got a rare start in the Huddersfield game, did Alexis Sanchez, but he's one of the players that's got to leave Manchester United this summer. As I did say, we are expected to orchestrate a big summer clear out. As I said, up to at least 5 or 6 could be going, but I think Sanchez, is added onto that list. As I did say, he's been so inconsistent as a Manchester United player. I think his wages are having a total bad effect on the club. Obviously, he's the highest paid player in the Premier League. He's the highest paid player at the club. But as I did say, he got a rare start against Huddersfield, but now he has sustained yet again another injury. I think this is now his 4th injury as a Manchester United player. He's been here 15, 16 months now, and he's been so inconsistent. I know he hasn't really been first choice Alexis Sanchez, but when he has played, he just looks so restricted. He just looks as though he hasn't been getting that freedom, hasn't settled him as a Manchester United player. And when we have played him, we've mainly put Sanchez on that left-hand side, and we do know that he can play in other positions because he's versatile. But I thought when we got him 15, 16 months ago, he would have been a fundamental player for Manchester United. Reflecting back, what he did at Arsenal, he was really, really good at Arsenal with Alexis Sanchez, and I think the majority of his goals at Arsenal, came up front. The majority of his goals at Arsenal, of course, when he was younger, he played under Pep Guardiola. So it just hasn't worked out for him at Manchester United. But let's be honest, he's 30 years of age now. He's no longer playing to the highest level, and he's lost that yard of pace, and he doesn't have a future at the club, does Alexis Sanchez. But yeah, he's out with an ankle injury. Talking about, you know, Lingard as well. You know, Lingard, of course, hasn't played in the last couple of games for Manchester United because Lingard his performances have been very, very poor in the last couple of months of Manchester United of Jesse Lingard. He's more experienced than Rashford and Martial, of course, because obviously, you know, Jesse Lingard's 27. Jesse Lingard, of course, knows what it's all about. You know, raising up the youth system with Manchester United and all that, and yeah, and we do know what he can be capable of on that right hand side. You know, Jesse Lingard. But yeah, I don't think he'll be playing in this game. Jesse Lingard, I think he will be dropped because his performances have been way below par in the last couple of months. For me, I probably would drop Rashford in this game again. You know, he's been so inconsistent in the last couple of months as Marcus Rashford. Still a long-term solution. Hasn't graduated to that level yet, Marcus Rashford, but his performances have been way below par in the last couple of months of Marcus Rashford. And we do know he has sustained quite a few injuries. It's taken its toll on him, and it's probably had a bad effect on his game, Marcus Rashford's. But yeah, he's been very, very poor at least in the last couple of months. Manchester United have not yet come to an agreement to get him a new contract. Nothing much more is updated about his contractual situation. He's still under contract here till 2020, of course, with an option of a further year. I think it did say before Man United would in advanced talks with Rashford of getting him a new 5-year contract at the club or something. But yeah, you know, Rashford knows what it's all about. You know, he's been a United player since the age of 7, age of 8. You know, progressing up the ranks fantastically well. Being in the senior squad with us since 2016, but his performances he's just been so inconsistent in the last couple of months. And you know, we do know what Marcus Rashford can be capable of, because usually he likes to get them runs. He's like lightning. He likes to get them runs in behind. You know, he can score goals. He does seem to be more effective when he's playing playing centrally. You know, he can play on the left, but I think he's more effective when he's playing centrally. But as I did say, his performance has been way below par in the last couple of months. Was absolutely appalling against Huddersfield. So yeah, for me, Rashford needs to be dropped for this game. You know, maybe some people, you know, will give Juan Mata another opportunity, because to be quite fair, you know, Juan Mata has been very, very impressive in his last couple of games, because obviously he's played the last 2 games as Juan Mata. We do know obviously now he's a squad player, and obviously, you know, he doesn't really get into the team Mata, but we do know he's played in the last 2 games, and to be quite fair to Mata, you know, he's been very, very impressive. I thought he had an okay game against Huddersfield. You know, he played very, very well in the Chelsea game, of course, getting his name on the score sheet, but I think he's been doing very, very well in that number 10 role as Juan Mata. So maybe he may get given the opportunity, Juan Mata. And yeah, I think he's another player, of course, that's leaving the club in the summer. I think Man United are willing to offer him a new 1-year extension. I think that's what Man United are willing to offer him. But I think, you know, Juan Mata is going to be making the move to Barcelona this summer when his contract expires, because I think Barcelona have been in talks on getting him on a free transfer. And I'd like Juan Mata to stay at least for another year. And I know now he's no longer playing to the highest level. He's 31 years of age. He's lost that yard of pace, but he's been a very, very consistent player for Manchester United. You know, this is now his 5th season at the club. He has made over 200 odd appearances in all competitions as Juan Mata. You know, he was very, very good when he was a lot younger, when he had 2.5, 3 years with Chelsea. So yeah, being a fantastic servant in the Premier League. I think Manchester United, you know, paid around just under £40 million in from Chelsea back in 2014. But yeah, I think I think he's determined, you know, to make the move to Barcelona this summer. But obviously, you know, Barcelona, of course, aren't going to see him as a replacement for Lionel Messi route. Obviously, when he goes to Barcelona, he's going to be a squad player. Obviously, he's a squad player now at Manchester United, because obviously he's age 31. But yeah, I think he's going to Barcelona this summer. I think it did say that Atletico Madrid, was it, or Bilbao, that were interested in him as well. I think reports came out the other day saying that, you know, Brighton were willing to offer him a 2-year contract, you know, to convince him to stay in the Premier League. But I think he'll want to make a return back to Spain. Of course, he's Spanish himself, had a lot of experience playing in Spain when he was young, you know, with Real Madrid and Valencia. So yeah, I think he's going to be end up, you know, making a return to Spain, is Juan Mata. So yeah, so that's my team, you know, my team news. So I think he'll go with De Gea in there. You know, I think he'll go with probably Diego Dalot at right back. I don't think Valencia will start. He could come on as a substitute though. So De Gea, Dalot, you know, Lindelof, Smalling, Luke Shaw, the midfield, Fred, Pogba and Herrera. You know, and I think the front three, you know, Martial on the left, Chong on the right, and I'd say Mason Greenwood at front, and that would be my lineup. And of course, you know, Lukaku won't be involved in this game, I don't think, because obviously, you know, Lukaku has got a hamstring injury, and of course, Lukaku didn't play against Huddersfield. Lukaku has sustained, you know, quite a few injuries this season for Manchester United, and I think Lukaku is on his way out of the club, you know, to be quite honest with you, this summer, because he has attracted interest from the likes of Juventus and Inter Milan and all that. And I think also AC Milan have been interested in Lukaku, but I think Lukaku was talking, about his dream to play in the Serie A. Obviously, Manchester United paid £75 million for Lukaku plus 15 million in add-ons, which had risen the deal to £90 million. As I said, he's got 3 years left in his contract. He's on about £250,000 a week as Lukaku. So if we can get rid of Lukaku this summer, that's gonna help us with our transition. And then getting rid of Pogba, getting rid of Lukaku, we could get £200 million plus there for them to, of course. But as I did say, Lukaku for me hasn't got the capabilities, to play to the highest level. He's a big game bottle. His first touch really concerns me. I know he's only 25 and he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. But for me, too inconsistent. His pedigree is very, very good in the Premier League. Is Lukaku's. Don't get me wrong, his pedigree is very, very good. He's scored a lot of goals in the Premier League. Can look a bit more effective. When he's getting that support up front, Romelu Lukaku. But yeah, I think we are intending on getting rid of him in the summer. But I think actually Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is set to have negotiations with Romelu Lukaku. So I don't think Lukaku is going to be involved because he's got a hamstring injury. So yeah, that is my starting 11 predictions for this game. I don't want to see Young playing. I don't want to see Young playing. I want Young dropped. I want Phil Jones dropped. Definitely want Phil Jones dropped without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, he's got to drop some players as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But I think he's willing to give the fringe players the chance, because to be fair to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he first came in, he did say anyway he was going to give everybody the chance, including the young players, the fringe players. He said he was going to give everybody the chance. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done that, to be fair. But he's getting criticism quite recently, because his team selections are wrong. His tactics are questionable, and these some Manchester United fans demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out, and because obviously they don't think he's got the capabilities, of course, to take this club forward. I still believe he has, because he knows about the club. Obviously he hasn't really got a great managerial pedigree, hasn't really got the experience of a manager. Had it as a player, because he was a great, fantastic player for 11 years under Ferguson, and he flourished under Alex Ferguson. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But we'll see what happens in the summer. Of course, see who we can bring in. We've got to be ruthless in this summer transfer window, because you can see the areas where Manchester United are lacking, so you can see the deficiencies in the squad. But yeah, I think £250 million this summer spending spree, get rid of Pogba, Lukaku and all that. That's going to rise it up to about £450 million for the summer. And if De Gea goes, that's going to be about £80-90 million. So that'll take it over £500 million for them three. So yeah, we are expected to orchestrate a big summer clear out. But you've got to get the right recruitment this summer, because analysing our recruitment policy is very, very poor. But I still believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the perfect fit for this squad. He's a better fit for this squad, than what currently Jose Mourinho was. And a lot of money has been spent at Manchester United, since Alex Ferguson retired. About £700 million has been invested into the club, as you all currently know. So yeah, so none of this squad is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, as I said, but we'll see what happens in the summer. But as I did say, a bit of transfer rumours to give you an update on them. I actually give you an update on on my previous video I did today, talking to you guys about that Ajax central defender, De Ligt, only 19 years of age, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer showed an interest in quite a few young upcoming players. I think we need to add some experience in the team. I know we've got quite a lot of experienced players, but we do need to add some experience into that team, etc. Getting an experienced central defender in. But yeah, De Ligt has been mentioned. He's only 19 years of age. Reports have been circulating around the media today, as you all know, saying that it's likely he's going to leave Ajax this summer, because obviously Ajax are now out of the Champions League. He did basically say that, according to Edwin van der Sar, of course, who was the CEO of Ajax, he did basically say that. So I just like to smoke my cig. He did say that he expects De Ligt to either make a move to England or England or Spain. So what is I think basically next season De Ligt could be plying his trade in England or Spain, could De Ligt. And this is what Edwin van der Sar does believe. He does believe that he's likely to make a move to the Premier League. Is De Ligt. De Ligt, there's only one team he's been at so far, and of course that's Ajax. You know, he's been an Ajax player, you know, since a child basically. You know, he was up their youth system, you know, for a number of years. I think he joined their youth academy around the age of 9. Did De Ligt, and I think he's been in the senior squad, you know, a number of years, about 3 years. I think he's been in the senior squad now with Ajax. But I think he's initially valued at around £80 million. Obviously, recent reports did say that he turned down Manchester United, did De Ligt, but Manchester United have been linked with him. I think he'll become more of a first team starter, did De Ligt, when obviously, you know, Ajax sanctioned Davinson Sanchez off to Tottenham. But he's currently the captain with Ajax, is De Ligt, and he's actually a very, very good player. He's only 19 years of age. I think he's also tall. So as I did say, you know, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, and he's done very, very well for Ajax. I think he is also won the Golden Boy Award. But what Edwin van der Sar is basically saying, you know, he thinks he'll have him make the move to England and Spain because United have been linked to him. I think also Liverpool have been linked to him now. Liverpool, of course, have had a great season this season. You know, I think they're probably going to win the Champions League. You know, they've still got a chance of winning the Premier League. But yeah, they addressed the deficiencies last summer. You know, they got some good players in. You know, they got Virgil van Dijk for £75 million, of course, who is the most expensive defender. But I think it's going to take a world record fee, you know, to get De Ligt on the board, because as I did say, he's valued at around £80 million. But you know, I think if he went to Liverpool, you know, he'd actually be a fantastic centre back. He'd be a fantastic centre back partnership. You know, De Ligt and Virgil van Dijk, because they know each other well. Because obviously, you know, Virgil van Dijk's Dutch. Obviously, you know, De Ligt's Dutch, so they know each other very, very well indeed. But Liverpool have been linked to him. It also said that Barcelona have been linked with De Ligt as well. Obviously, you know, Barcelona have obviously come to an agreement to get Frankie de Jong, which is obviously, you know, one of De Ligt's teammates. Barcelona, obviously, you know, he's going to be officially a Barcelona player in the new season. He's going to be officially a Barcelona player in the new season, because obviously, you know, Barcelona last summer agreed the fee with Ajax. I think Barcelona got him agreed around a £75 million fee for their Frankie de Jong, so he's going to be officially a Barcelona player in the new season. So it is saying that Barcelona, of course, have been interested in De Ligt. So he has attracted interest, you know, from quite a few teams, you know, reflecting on his impressive performances with Ajax. So yeah, he's 19 years of age, and of course, Manchester United have been linked to him. But Edwin van der Sar is very, very adamant that he's going to leave this summer, and Van der Sar thinks he'll go to England or he will go Spain, and I think that's where he will be playing his trade next season. But he recently, you know, turned down, you know, the chance to come to Manchester United, you know, did De Ligt. So there has been a lot of talks about that going on. But, you know, there's a lot of central defenders on Manchester United's agenda. You know, there's a lot of central defenders on Manchester United's agenda. We do know there's been a lot of talks about Leicester City's Harry Maguire. You know, he's been spoken about a lot. And I do really, really like Harry Maguire. I think he's really, really good. He's well Premier League proven. His experience, you know, he's 26 years of age, so he is in his prime, he's Harry Maguire. I think it did say he's previously valued at around 75 or 80 million pounds, is Harry Maguire. But yeah, he's got a contract with Leicester till 2023. Of course, he signed this new long-term contract last summer with Leicester. Manchester United were heavily linked with Harry Maguire last summer. Harry Maguire's tall as well. I think he's about 6'3", 6'4", so that's very, very beneficial. I think his defensive abilities are very, very good. He's very, very good at latching on from set pieces, as I've seen this season. But his performances this season for Leicester have been very, very good. Now it's been officially confirmed he has made 100 appearances in the Premier League. He made it on Monday night against Manchester City. But yeah, I think he's reportedly valued at around 75, 80 million pounds. But I don't think Man United are intending on, you know, paying a world record fee for Harry Maguire, because there's other options out there. But yeah, Harry Maguire, I think Leicester only paid around 17 million pounds for him. And Harry Maguire did say a while back that, you know, maybe he wants to play to the highest level, wants to be, you know, in Champions League football, and of course he's not going to experience this with Leicester. I think this is now his second season with Leicester. Obviously he's a former Sheffield United player. Well, he began his career with Sheffield United as a youngster. I think he's also been at Hull City as well. I think he had a loan spell with Wigan, did Harry Maguire. So yeah, there has been a lot of talks about him going on as well. Premier League proven is Harry Maguire. Of course he's British, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has expressed an interest in quite a few British players. So yeah, Harry Maguire's on Manchester United's agenda. So it did say Man United, and Man United have got the financial power, you know, of course, to double his wages, you know, so we can afford to offer him more than Leicester. So yeah, Man United have been heavily linked with him. other central defenders, Manchester United have been linked with, and obviously I'd like Rafael Varane. I think Rafael Varane is a very, very good player. But talking about Rafael Varane, to be quite honest with you, I don't think he'll leave Real Madrid because I don't think Real Madrid are willing to offload him. And obviously, I think the only chance we'd have of getting Rafael Varane is obviously as part of the deal for Paul Pogba. But yeah, I don't think Real Madrid, of course, I want to lose him. But he's 25 years of age, is Rafael Varane, and I think he has got a huge release clause in his deal. I think his release clause, must be about £429 million. But discarding his release clause, discarding his release clause, discarding the swap deal, Rafael Varane, is still going to cost you way over £100 million because he's a fantastic central defender. It's fantastic what he's achieved as a Real Madrid player. He's only 25 years of age, and he's won about 15, 16 major honours with Real Madrid, and I think this is now his 7th, 8th season with Real Madrid. So he spent the majority of his career in Spain and Madrid as Rafael Varane. But I just don't think Real Madrid have got any intentions of sanctioning him off because obviously Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane know how much of a central player he is, but there is a much cheaper alternative. We still know there's been talks about Tottenham's Toby Alderweireld, again, well Premier League proven. I know he's aging up, I know he's 30 years of age, don't get me wrong, I've got strong reservations about Alderweireld, because obviously I don't think he wants to be at Tottenham because he's refused to sign a new contract with Tottenham, and this is why Tottenham activated this 12-month extension and included this £25 million release clause. So he's available for £25 million this summer. I know he's lost that yard of pace, but I still think he'd be a good upgrade in our defence, because I think we need a central defender, because defensively, we are shocking, and we haven't had a world-class central defender, since we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand. But yeah, I'm reflecting back when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. Defensively, we looked really, really good, but I always said we need a central defender. It was one of his priorities to get a central defender last summer, but obviously last summer when Jose Mourinho was in charge, obviously, the board weren't backing, the signings he wanted to recommend to come in to the club. Obviously, Koulibaly, I know he'd address our deficiencies fantastically well. So yeah, we've got quite a few central defenders on our agenda. But I also believe that we do need a striker as well, because we're not being ruthless enough in front of goal. We're not scoring enough goals, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has mentioned. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, he's lost his patience with his Manchester United players, as he did basically, as he was explaining. But yeah, as I said, we definitely need a striker, especially from the where Lukaku goes. I think we need some creative. I think, if Pogba leaves, we're going to need 3 new additions in that midfield. And, we need some creativeness in that midfield. We need we need someone that can pose a goal threat, someone that can score goals from that midfield, and someone that can provide from that midfield. And to be quite honest with you, Sporting Lisbon's Bruno Fernandes, would have been the right solution. And, Manchester United have been heavily linked with Bruno Fernandes, and it's a shame I don't think we're going to get him now, because obviously, as I did say, Manchester City are on the brink of finalising a deal for Bruno Fernandes. City have been in talks with Sporting Lisbon over a deal worth around £47 million. City are going to get him for around £47 million because obviously, City are willing to offer 1 or 2 of their players as part of the deal. So obviously, you're going to call it a players plus a cash deal. So obviously, Sporting Lisbon, of course, are going to go along with this. City, of course, are going to see him as a replacement for Fernandinho. Fernandinho's 34, but Fernandinho's primarily defensive midfielder. Bruno Fernandes, of course, is predominantly an attacking midfielder. But I think he'd have been a fantastic replacement for Paul Pogba. Bruno Fernandes, he's got loads of goals in him, loads of assists in him. I think he's got about 31 goals this season, Bruno Fernandes. I think he's, produced about 16 or 17 assists. He's 24 years of age. His release clause is around £86 million in his deal with Sporting Lisbon. Obviously, Solskjaer demanded Manchester United, to pay around 85 or £86 million for Bruno Fernandes. But as I did say, maybe player of his calibre, wants to be playing to the highest level. And of course, Manchester City are strides ahead of Manchester United at the moment, and I'll say we're at least a couple of years from graduating to Manchester City's level. But as I did say, City's got obviously going to be a much attractive option, a much more attractive option, for Bruno Fernandes. But Bruno Fernandes has been at Sporting Lisbon a couple of seasons now. He's 24 years of age. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him. He had a lot of experience of playing in Italy before, with Sampdoria and Udinese, and I think they only paid around £8 million to Sporting Lisbon for Bruno Fernandes from Sampdoria, was it back in 2017? But yeah, very, very good player indeed. I think if he came to Manchester United, I think he'd have blended in very, very well in our midfield. But obviously now it's looking likely, we've missed out on him because City, I think it's a week or 2 away, from it getting officially announced, as it reports do mention. So yeah, that's going to be Pep Guardiola's latest signing. That's going to be revealed, I think, think, in the next couple of weeks. Manchester United, of course, have been heavily linked with Joe Felix, from Benfica, and I think he's also another player, of course, that Manchester City have been interested in. Joe Felix, as I said, he's got a buyout clause of around £100 million. He's only 19 years of age. Man United have been scouting now at least in the last couple of months, reflecting on his impressive performances this season for Benfica. He can score goals, he can provide, he's primarily an attacking midfielder, but he can put him as a winner. Obviously we need a right winner, as well. You can play him as a striker. You can also play Joe Felix as a second striker. And I think Liverpool have attracted their interest in Joe Felix. So I think Liverpool have actually been linked to him. But his performances have been very, very good this season for Benfica. As I did say, it's only his first season in the senior squad with Benfica. But Manchester United have been heavily linked to him. And I hope we can get a deal over the line for Joe Felix. I think Manchester City could end up getting him, because they're on the verge of getting Fernandes. I think they're also probably going to get Joe Felix again. Maybe Joe Felix wants to be playing to the highest level. And as I did say, it's going to be hard for us to get the players we want, because obviously we're not in Champions League football for next season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still believes we can attract players to the elite level, and he still believes we can. And but as he was saying before the Huddersfield game, prior to the Huddersfield game, Solskjaer was saying, he had allegedly, been contacted by a number of agents, saying that they, reportedly their players wanted to come to Manchester United, and this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had currently said. And so we're linked with a lot of players, as I did say. There's been talk of West Ham's Declan Rice. He's primarily a defensive midfielder. He's Declan Rice. He's 20 years of age. He's one of England's youngest upcoming talents. He's been absolutely phenomenal for West Ham. Especially this season. He's doing very, very well under Manuel Pellegrini, because this is only Manuel Pellegrini's first season at West Ham. But he's done very, very well as Declan Rice, and he's probably going to cost you around 40-50 million pounds. He's Declan Rice. So there has been a lot of talks about him. He's done well for West Ham. He's been in the West Ham senior squad, quite a few years now, and his performances have been very, very good. He's an energetic midfielder. His movement's good. He can break up the play very, very well. And I think he'd do very, very well with Declan Rice. If he was to come in, he's got a contract with West Ham till 2024. What he signed in December of last year. So Manchester United have been linked with Declan Rice. So there has been a lot of talks about him going on. So there is a few midfielders on Manchester United's agenda. We do know a couple of weeks back, there was a lot of talks about Atletico Madrid's Saúl Ñíguez. There was also a lot of talks about him. So yeah, there's been quite a few midfielders spoken about. As I did say as well, Man United need to get a right back in. There's been talks of Crystal Palace's Anwan Bissaka. I don't see us getting Anwan Bissaka now, because I did update you, was it a couple of days ago, or was it last week, that he's fully committed to Palace. He's intending on spending at least one more season with Crystal Palace. But he's only been in the Crystal Palace senior squad about 15-16 months now, when Anwan Bissaka. But he's only young. He's only 21 years of age. Again, British. But yeah, I think he'd be a perfect successor to Antonio Valencia. I think he'd be a good upgrade to Ashley Young. And but he's only very, very young. He's Anwan Bissaka. So we do know there's been talks about him. We do know the club's number one priority target is obviously Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now wants to bring a right winner in to Manchester United. Jadon Sancho, I think a player of his calibre, wants to be in Champions League football. A player of his calibre, of course, Jadon Sancho, wants to be in a Champions League football, I should presume, but he's only 19 years of age. He's one of England's youngest upcoming prospects, but he's been fantastic in his couple of years with Dortmund. I think it would be good for him to make a return back to the Premier League. It would create a better platform for him. As I did say, he had a couple of years with Manchester City, of course, before he went to Dortmund, but never got the chance at Manchester City, and this is why he left City and went to Borussia Dortmund. But yeah, even though, he's still going to cost you at least £100 million, he's going to cost you a nine-figure sum, and that's a lot of money, especially for only a player that's only 19 years of age. But I do believe it'd be the right solution for Manchester United, if he was to come in. But I still think he's the club's number one priority target. So we are linked with a lot of players, as I said. But yeah, we should win this game on Sunday against Cardiff. Of course, we should easily win this. It should be a comfortable victory, for Manchester United. But don't count your chickens, because the performances have been really, really poor. At least in the last 10 games. games. You know, the players are not playing for the shirt, they're not playing for the club, you know, they're not playing, you know, they're not showing any heart, they're not showing any passion, and that's very, very disappointing indeed. And, you know, some of the blame stems from Ed Woodward, of course. You know, some of the blame is Solskjaer. As I said, he's starting now to get his team selections wrong, as I did say at the beginning of the video. It's going to be essentially, you know, what team Ole Gunnar Solskjaer selects. And, yeah, the majority of the blame is on the players, of course. And, yeah, he has been making the wrong decisions, Solskjaer. You know, why is he playing Young? You know, Jones needs to be dropped for this game. Young cannot play in this game against Cardiff. He cannot play, and if I see Young now, just basically, you know, don't want to know if Young is playing. So it should be Diego Dalot that right back, but there has been talks that Valencia could get given his farewell appearance, because Valencia hasn't actually played since January the 2nd, and that was away to Newcastle. That was actually his last game he played for Manchester United, Antonio Valencia. But yeah, I think he will play a number of fringe players in this game. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, give the youngsters the chance. He might as well give the youngsters the chance. But these quite a few upcoming, futures in Manchester United. You know, Mason Greenwood's the upcoming future. You know, Chong's the upcoming future. You know, Angel Gomez is the upcoming future. You know, James Garner's the upcoming future. So there's quite a few players there that are the upcoming future. And there's quite a few others as well. As I said, so yeah, he's got to give the youngsters the opportunity on Sunday. You know, play Mason Greenwood, give Chong the chance. You know, James Garner possibly. You know, Angel Gomez could maybe be involved as well. They could get given the chance. But I've already given you my starting 11 prediction. But this should be an easy win for Man United. You know, Cardiff are an absolutely poor team indeed. You know, they're relegated. They're going back into the Championship next season. And yeah, so that is your Manchester United versus Cardiff preview. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.